Hi, thank you for joining me today in today's reflective moment. While you watch this incredible sunset with me, I would like to share with you something about poetry memorization. In fact, as a family, while our children were growing, I used to look for very specific scripture and specific poems which would help us to be mindful for whatever was relevant in the time. Let me give you an example. If perhaps there was some unkind behavior that we had experienced, be that within the immediate family, or perhaps when we were out and about, or we had visitors, or we were visiting, wherever or however, it happened to be that we witnessed something that was not positive. So then I would think about either a scripture, or actually not either, a scripture and a poem that would maybe be helpful to memorize both of those things. And so in other words, that was pertaining to this particular situation. In this instance, I'm just going to use the example of being unkind. We had experienced somebody somewhere, somehow. There had been some unkind behavior. So I would look up some scripture that would address that, and I'd try and find a poem. And then we would write the scripture out, and we would stick it up on the walls and the doors and the fridge and the mirror, bathroom mirror, wherever. And so that became the scripture memorization for us in that time. So basically what was happening is we were transferring this negative experience into something good, as in memorizing a scripture that would change the reference of bad behavior into better behavior. Or, in the same thing applied to a poem. The poem we would make fun, have a poem and have fun with it. In fact, an example that comes to mind right now is this one poem, little poem, that we had all memorized, and it goes like this. O thy hideous monster sin, what a curse thou hast brought in. All creation groans for thee, growing cause of misery. So we would make some fun with it and then write it out and practice it until it was memorized. And you know what happened? When something negative transpired, one of the children was doing something that was not good. It was, sinful nature creeping up. I would say, oh, thy hideous monster. And the children go, okay, mom, you don't have to say it, we know. And instantly the behavior would change. The bad behavior would stop. And then the behavior would, be considered, and they would be mindful of the fact that sin is a hideous thing and it causes misery. So let's not do that. Actually, once again, I'm just going to stop now with this sharing about poetry memorization while we just watch these Egyptian geese going for a little paddle across Lake Crystal. Anyway, I do hope that poetry memorization and scripture memorization will be something that you will find to be a support in your parenting, in your learning lifestyle. Thanks for joining me today in this reflective moment.